Welcome back to the Banganator podcast, season 4, episode 2. And, I got usually I'm riding solo, with this show and, have different guests on. But, this season, I'm going to have consistently another co-host on. Hey, my boy Phill.
What's the deal, bro? What's the deal?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. Living the dream. How you living, my boy?
Hey, I'm living good. It's always a blessed day to be on this earth and then talk about sports.
We always talk about this. I was always like, when you going to get me back on the show? When you going to get me back on the show, bro? So now that we can kind of solidify something for the long haul, it's great to be here, and I'm excited for the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So as y'all know, my boy, if y'all been watching this podcast, my boy Phill, he a diehard Bengals fan.
Yes, sir.
Diehard Louisiana State University fan, LSU.
Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. So, so from time to time, we'll be talking about, his Bengals and his LSU Tigers as well. But obviously, it's primarily Dallas Cowboys and Texas Longhorns. So that's where we're going to start. The Dallas Cowboys lost to the Eagles last Thursday, season opener, 24-20. To be honest, we could have won that game, especially after Jalen Carter got ejected after spitting on Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Of all people. And Dak was cooking.
Yeah.
Throwing for 21 of 34, 188 yards. I was surprised by the run game because, our run game was atrocious last year.
Oh, that was the biggest, I think, shock of the night right there.
Exactly. Jalen Williams rushed for 54 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. And George Pickens looked solid, 3 receptions, 30 yards. On the defensive side, we just couldn't contain Jalen Hurts. And, even though we couldn't contain Jalen Hurts, at least we kept Saquon Barkley to 60 yards and just 1 touchdown.
Yep.
But the biggest disappointment of the night was obviously my boy CeeDee Lamb. 110 yards. It looked like he was cooking early.
Yeah, he was.
110 yards, but dropped 4 out of 7 passes, 2 or 3 of which was in clutch time. Like catches that you need to be made that could possibly lead to a field goal.
Shoot, one of them hit him right in the face mask.
Just as a Cowboys fan, I'm encouraged. Not only as a Cowboys fan, but even from an analytical standpoint, I'm encouraged because of the way we played. We really could have won that game if we were a little bit more on point, especially with CeeDee Lamb. But what do you think about just from an outsider's perspective? Since you're not a Cowboys fan, what do you think about that game?
Outside looking in, it was very, very encouraging if I was a Cowboys fan because we all expected that game to be way out of hand, way early. Containing Jalen Hurts, that's going to be hard for any team. So to only really give up Saquon's with 66 yards, Jalen kind of got off, but I think total you guys didn't give up 150 on the ground. Yeah. So it's like for a spotty run defense already, you're losing your best athlete on defense a year before the season starts. Like I understand Micah Parsons wasn't really known for run stopping, but that's still an athlete on the edge that will maybe even make Jalen Hurts consider thinking twice about running. You know what I mean? Or like just kind of being in an area to where you can affect the game, even though it doesn't go down as a stat. Offensive wise, I feel like y'all's offense looked way better than I thought it was going to look. I thought it was going to be really pass heavy. You guys were able to establish the run early. Javonte Williams was a very good pickup for you guys. Anytime you can come in, 2 touchdowns, put some points on the board. Miles Sanders looked good until Miles Sanders proved to be who we know Miles Sanders can be. He's going to make an amazing play, and then he's going to more than likely fumble the ball or do something very bad afterwards. You know what I mean? So, but looking forward, I feel like, the Eagles and Commanders aren't too far ahead of you guys. I put them ahead of y'all just because they have a more solidified defense than you guys. That's it. Offensive wise, I feel like on any given day, all y'all's offenses are like neck and neck with each other. I would love to see Dak maybe get 1 passing touchdown in there. Lead them down and finish it off. But that's just for my fantasy purposes because he's my fantasy quarterback. But overall, good game. Didn't put the ball in harm's way. I think that 1 fumble by Miles Sanders was the only turnover of the game. So, it's a lot to build off of.
Yeah.
Now, if Jalen Carter's in the game, that's a different story. That's a what if. Yeah. But we can only play against what we're given, and what we were given was that defense. And to be the reigning Super Bowl champs and you guys go down there and hang in with them, I feel like that was a great showing for week 1. New head coach. It's a lot to build off of.
Facts.
You know?
And like on the defensive side of the ball, I was just I used to play defensive end in high school. We were taught that you got to keep contained.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
No matter what you do, keep your shoulders square and keep contained just in case the running back bounces outside or quarterback decides to, run outside.
Try to turn them back into your help.
Every time I noticed the Cowboys every time would, they would try to do too much, bull rush, get inside, and then there's no outside contain.
Yep.
Linebacker is, out in pass protection or pass defense.
Yep.
So Jalen Hurts would just take off for easy first downs all the time, and I think he did get one.
Because you guys ran a lot of man defense. Y'all ran a lot of man, so like that front seven and really that front four is very crucial. If you're going to be a heavy man-to-man defense, you got to stay in your lane. You can't play hero ball.
Yeah,
we've heard that. We've heard that so many times. You can't
do your job.
You got to be able to just be where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So then that way everything flows like how it's supposed to.
Yeah. And CeeDee Lamb, that's fixable. He's usually not the guy that drops a lot of balls. Yeah. So going forward, I got faith in him still.
Yeah.
Going forward, the Cowboys play the Giants this Sunday at 12 noon. I'll be there at Texas Live
to see you. Anybody come see me. Y'all know where I'm at.
And so obviously the Giants lost bad to the Commanders 21-6.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson didn't look that good, only throwing for 45% passing. So in my eyes, as long as the Giants keep looking that bad, the Cowboys win.
Yep.
What you think?
I think so. I feel like this should be a very sound victory for the Cowboys. I feel like this is the type of game where it's like, okay, let's iron out these wrinkles from week 1. Let's show that we can correct our mistakes and then not make them again. But one thing I will say is you cannot let the Giants hang around. Once you have them down and out, you got to go ahead and put the nail in the coffin, because if you let them keep fighting, that's when you open that Pandora's box of let them get too much confidence, because yes, it's the Giants, but that's still a veteran quarterback.
Yeah.
They still have Malik Neighbors. Mm-hmm. They still have a decent run game.
Yeah. Brian Daboll, who's a really good coach too.
Yeah, and that defense was no slouch. Like, they were making Washington earn every single one of those points. I know the score was real lopsided, but if the Giants offense could have produced points or like kept the defense off the field, we might be having a totally different discussion, because that defense was above what we thought they would be,
Yeah.
So especially, I think they had Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, who else? Brian Burns is on that defense. Mm-hmm. So it's like they have some weapons. They just kind of got to figure out how to, again, get it all together. And you don't want them to get it all together versus the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially at home opener,
like
divisional opponent. These wins, we know they count for one technically, but anytime you can beat a divisional opponent to start the season early, that's almost as good as 2 wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thanks.
So, y'all just have to go out and handle business. I want to see a big game from George. I want to see a big game from CD. I expect this passing attack to be on full-fledged. Yeah. Like, you don't have to worry about the elements. You don't have to worry about nothing. Just go out there and play some football.
Yep. Gotta go 1-1 after week 2. So, obviously, you're a Bengals fan. Let's talk about your Bengals real quick. The Bengals won against the Browns 17-16, only a 1-point win. Obviously, I was watching, whenever I could, because I got T. Higgins on my fantasy. On my fantasy, he only got me 6 points.
Yeah.
But the past 6 seasons, they've went 1-11 in the first 2 weeks of the season, which leaves you to question, like, hey, what's his name? Zach Taylor, y'all's head coach.
Yep.
What are you doing, or what are you not doing that leaves your team unprepared for those first 2 weeks every season?
Yep.
So finally, y'all got the win. Well, y'all 1-0. Are you encouraged or discouraged? Because y'all got the win, but y'all only won by 1 point, and it was a low-scoring game.
You remember last year when we were talking about the Cowboys and Steelers game, and I was like, it don't matter how you get it, as long as you get the dub, that's all that matters.
Yep.
Again, right here, we at the end of the day, we're 1-0 instead of 0-1 versus a divisional opponent. I don't care how we got it done. We got it done because years past, we would have found every way to lose that game. And the fact that it was our defense that had to carry our offense is a very encouraging sign because let's be real. The Bengals have top 3, if not the best offense when they're firing on all cylinders in the league. To me, biased, not biased, it's on y'all to decide. But you're not going to get a Jamar Chase only have 2 receptions. You're not going to get a T. Higgins only 33 yards. I think them combined, like it was less than 75 yards total receiving yards on 5 receptions. That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
our offense was held to, I want to say it was like 7 total yards in the second half. That's not going to happen again. So any game where it's like our offense is struggling. So defense, we need y'all to bend, don't break, and if you can get a couple turnovers here and there, great. We think we ended up with like 2 picks, a turnover on downs there in the second half, punt, and then a missed field goal. That was like the Browns' second half drive.
Okay.
So if we get that type of production off our defense, even though it wasn't pretty, it still produced. It still kept them from scoring more points than we scored. So as a fan, I'm encouraged. I feel like we're always at second half, middle to second half season type of team. So if we can build some momentum a little earlier this year, by all means, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to read too much into it because me personally, I'm like, our offense will never play that bad again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I hope. And you can always rely on Joe Burrow, Chase, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, like you said. Next week or this upcoming weekend, y'all got the Bengals. It's Bengals versus Jags.
Yep.
So the Jags, I think they won against the Panthers, but it's the Panthers.
It's
the
Panthers. We're not
how you feel going into that?
I feel confident. I feel like we have a very good chance of starting 2-0, which has been a very long time coming since we started 2-0. I think in order to start 2-0, we got to score some points. This is not going to be the type of game where you can win scoring less than 21 points. We got to get points on the board. I'm very confident that we can do that. That and Joe Burrow's undefeated versus Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, okay. All right.
I like our chances. I like our chances, but I really think that we go out, we do give up some points. I'm thinking it's going to be kind of like a 27-24 type of ball game. As long as we contain Brian Robinson Jr., we don't let Travis Etienne just run all over us.
Yeah.
Defense needs to have a backbone. And as long as they can hold up and let our offense be our offense and carry us to the promised land, I feel like we get out a Sunday home opener, Paycor Field, Cincinnati, Ohio. I feel like everybody's celebrating with some Skyline chili at 2-0.
All right, that's a bet. Sure, I got him winning too. Do you think that y'all gonna keep Travis Hunter from going off rookie?
I think so.
Whether he plays he's playing mainly offense and then some defense, but you think can keep him from making plays?
Yep, sure can. Don't get me wrong, Travis generational. I think I am such a fan of Travis. I love the way he plays football. I like the fact that he's like, I'm playing both sides. But I also saw that their head coach said that he's going to be playing more snaps on defense this week.
Oh, okay.
Barbecue chicken. Line them up. Line them up.
All right.
Because what you going to do, one play go guard Jamar and then go guard T, and then you got Yoshi Vaz. We still, throw Chase Brown in the slot. We're tight end U for the NFL. So we got Gesicki, Noah Fant, Drew Sample. We still have a lot of weapons to where it's like, I don't know how much it's going to help you and how much you're going to make an impact. But, hey,
weeks like this, have his hands full on the defensive side.
You know what I mean? Weeks like this, I personally would have him kind of – you're facing I'm not going to talk about our defense, but you're facing a average to below average NFL defense. I would try to have him make as many plays on offense, but that's why I'm sitting in this chair and I'm not in the front office somewhere. So what do I know?
That's what I would have thought too. Yeah.
I feel like this is a good game for him to catch his confidence a little bit. Like welcome to the NFL. Let's get you some balls early. The defense is soft, but hey, please don't listen to me.
Hey,
like I would hope
you don't want to get him on social media. You don't want to see Travis on social media getting burnt. Watching Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. He is an athlete. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I see that a lot.
Of course you do,
man.
All right, so let's switch it to college football.
Okay.
We're gonna start off with my Texas Longhorns. Texas blows out San Jose State 38-7. Obviously, Arch Manning looked way better. Again, it was San Jose State. 295 yards, 5 touchdowns, including a rushing touchdown. For me, in my opinion, last week and this week going up against UTEP, it just stands as a good live reps for Manning and the receivers to get it clicking before we get into in-conference play.
Because you guys lost a lot last year. Let's see, y'all lost Golden at receiver, Isaiah Bond.
Yep.
Who else? Y'all lost. Oh, y'all lost. No, not Wisner. The quarterback, Jaden Blue,
Andrew Makuba on the defensive side.
Makuba.
A few more guys that I can't think right now.
But yeah, I feel like for y'all, like that week 1 loss to Ohio State, I just feel like that moment was a little bit bigger than what y'all were prepared for. And I don't even mean like some one person specifically. I mean as a team, the way Sarkisian was calling plays, the way that they were playing, it was a very conservative ball game, and I don't think really anybody expected Ohio State's defense to look as good as they did. But when you have Matt Patricia as your D coordinator, who's an established defensive-minded coach, won Super Bowls in the league, has coached with Bill Belichick, been a head coach in the league. If anything, that defense was going to be sound. Now, not to toot Ohio State's horn, because the jury's still out on them, but for a week 1 showing, I feel like it was just a big moment, big noon game. You're in at the shoe, like it just it was a lot to deal with. First start, So it's just like settle in. Again, use these 2 games to kind of just build some confidence. Get everybody on the same page on like this is the timing, the rhythm. This is how we want to do things, and allow Arch to really head into that SEC heavy portion of the schedule with like, okay, I know I can do this and I'm confident that I can lead this team. So when you do start facing them teams where it's going to be a lot of 1-score games or like teams that aren't just a step below you guys, like it's UTEP and San Jose State. Let's be for real. You know what I mean? And we're talking about Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and I was just really encouraged by like our defense, obviously against Ohio State. But
y'all's defense look good.
And even going forward, I'm confident that we're not going to be in a bunch of shootout games. Like we gonna have a good defense going up against the Floridas, the OUs, the Georgias.
Yeah. So those are going to be the real meat and potatoes. That's when we're really going to be able to judge Arch if he is this top QB draft prospect that we all think he can be.
LSU beat Louisiana Tech 23-7 and are now 2-0. Y'all are obviously in the SEC as well, and that's it's just now clicking in my head, how much we actually rivals right now. So
because the SEC championship goes through Baton Rouge. I don't care what nobody says.
It goes through Georgia. I don't know what you're talking about. Unless
not
you
this
talk
year.
About 2019.
No, not this
nothing
year.
goes through y'all.
Nah.
Anyways,
SEC championship. You heard it here first, y'all. The SEC title runs through Baton Rouge
Get
this
the
year.
F out of here. Y'all beat them pretty handedly. It was whenever I tuned in, it was actually a close game.
Yeah.
And then y'all.
What people don't realize is though about all these Louisiana schools, even like obviously LSU talent pool is a step above just because it's LSU is the biggest school. But the rest of it, these are the same kids that we are recruiting that we want to come play for LSU that decide to stay in state, go to Louisiana Tech, go to ULM. Go to Lafayette, like, you know what I mean? So it's like yes, you're at a smaller school and on paper it's like, okay, LSU should beat Louisiana Tech by 30 points. But it's like, these are the same talent pool that these guys played high school ball with, that even in that area, that Arkansas, Mississippi, East Texas area, like these are the same 4 and 5 stars that are going. So whether they might have issues in that classroom or off the field issues, if they can't make the prestigious school, they're going to schools like Louisiana Tech. They're going to schools like ULM. So like, never be too surprised when those schools hold up a little fair versus your like blue blood, so to say. I don't care how you get it done. A 23-6 ball game, we're good.
Yeah,
we won handily.
Yeah,
we're chilling.
So going forward, y'all play Florida this weekend. I was just talking about Harper that, like, I didn't even know that y'all played Florida this weekend. So I think that's going to be might be the biggest matchup this weekend.
It's a bad week to be a Florida Gator.
Yeah, they're not looking good. They're not looking good.
Gator,
who did they lose against last week?
USF.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
come on.
Which again, like the similar situation. Think Florida football.
Yeah,
a lot of those talented kids that can't get into the bigger schools, they go to those teams like UCF, USF, FIU, FAU. And so I really wasn't surprised, because especially I watched USF play Boise State week 1, and them boys were ready to play. They have some talent on that team, and they're one of those teams that if you don't come prepared, if you don't come with everything in a row, they will mess around and beat you. And that's what happened to Florida. Florida gave that game away. USF was fighting. Florida gave them an opportunity. They capitalized on that opportunity. Welcome to college football.
Yeah.
That's why I love it.
Facts.
That's why I love it.
And, I got LSU beating Florida. I assume that you got the same.
Sure do.
Yep.
Sure do. Nighttime game, Death Valley. One thing about LSU this year, our defense is looking great. Wes and Whit Weeks, Harold Perkins Jr., like our front seven is looking good. Our DBs, Dulane is turning into our next lockdown corner. Like the transfer portal for us was really big this year, and you see the guys that we targeted, they're instantly making an impact, and that's what I like to see. It seems like Brian Kelly's finally getting everybody to like breathe, quit giving games away. We know what we came here for. Just focus on the task at hand ahead and take it one play, one down at a time. Yeah. And that's all we need.
And hey, Brian Kelly finally didn't lose a week 1, at LSU.
Again, I don't know what's up with both my teams losing week 1s. Like I never am in a good mood the first 3 weeks of the football season. I'm always grumpy, always.
We moving on to fantasy football now. I'm only in one league this year, obviously. As y'all know, I'm the reigning defending champ of my league, but I went 0-1. I lost in fantasy this week. I was down 58-111 going into Sunday night, and during Sunday night's game, Derrick Henry and James Cook brought me back to within 1 point. They went off on Sunday night.
Yeah, they did. I have James Cook on a couple of my leagues actually.
After Derrick Henry fumbled, I lost a few points and never recovered. And I lost. With that being said, if I had started Keon Coleman instead of Matthew Golden, I would have won, because Keon Coleman
had like
Josh Allen. So and then Matthew Golden, he only had like 3 points or something like that. So if I just made a different decision.
He has like a lingering ankle injury right now.
He does. So he's on my bench right now.
But Keon Coleman, I'm telling you right now, bro, breakout year for Keon Coleman. I've been so heavy on Keon Coleman for the longest. I was so disappointed last year. When he kind of was struggling a little bit there. But again, he's a rookie. Got to earn that trust of the quarterback. But now I feel like he has Josh Allen's trust. Expect Keon Coleman to do very big things this season.
And as a result, I got him starting on my fantasy this week.
They play the Jets too. That's a very good matchup. The Steelers shredded the Jets secondary last week. Yeah. Anytime Aaron Rodgers, you can get Aaron Rodgers though 229 and 4 TDs. Like, come on, bro. Yep. I would hate to see what Josh Allen and the Bills can do against that same secondary.
Yeah. So, my biggest playmakers was Patrick Mahomes, who got me 26 points as my quarterback. Obviously, Derrick Henry, who got me around 40 points, and James Cook, who also he had a big night with the Bills. He got me about 30 points.
30. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So he got me like 21 in my couple leagues that I had him in.
Yeah. So how's your fantasy looking?
I'm in 5 leagues, bro. Oh my god, I don't even know how I did this to myself. It's so much.
Hey, that's why I don't want to stress.
It's so much.
Yeah.
I want to say I went 2-3 this weekend, but my 2 and 3, a couple of teams like Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are my QB1 and wide receiver 1. I like that stack. Just the fan of me. We had a very low performance. I think Joe got me like 10 points. Jamar got me 4 points. Okay. I had some other people kind of underperform. I could trusted Cooper Kupp in the league. I figured he would at least get some type of targets and anything. He had 3 targets, 2 catches. He dropped 1. So like, just kind of let that gel. He has to gel with Sam Darnold. I get it. New environment. My biggest pickup for the week though was Keenan Allen. Surprisingly, I had picked him up.
Bro. I literally just picked him up too.
Whenever it announced that he was going back to the Chargers, I immediately picked him up in as many leagues as I could because I'm like, when Keenan Allen had his best year and Justin Herbert had their best year, that was his wide receiver number 1.
Yep.
That is a built-in safety blanket. And I just hate it for Ladd McConkey because his value just went way down, especially with Quentin Johnson like actually catching the ball this year. Yeah. I'm like, if he keeps catching it up, like it's going to be Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson, McConkey are going to be like your 2A, 2B type of receiver. But Keenan Allen's going to get majority of those targets because Justin Herbert just has so much faith in him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like surprisingly, Keenan Allen wasn't picked up by anybody in our league, and so the process that we do in our league is for free agents, you got to bid on them.
Okay.
So I bid the highest this week, and I got Keenan Allen on my squad now.
Going into week 2, I feel like a lot of familiar faces kind of bounce back. Week 1's always very iffy on like what these teams are going to look like, what the situations are.
And already some key injuries, too, across the league.
So, just kind of see how stuff plays out. I expect to go 5-0 this week. Right. I'm not even joking. I expect to go 5-0 this week.
And I'm expecting to bounce back, too, and go 1-1 after this week. Now it's time for our bet segment, the first time that I'm doing a bet segment on my podcast. And, Phil, you go ahead and handle it.
All right, y'all, listen. These are the bets that I'm feeling. We're going to go straight college football Saturday, so just bear with me. So my first lock, Oregon versus Northwestern. I love Oregon minus 27.5. The Oregon Ducks have been steamrolling everybody this year. They put up 59 points, I'm pretty sure, versus Oklahoma State last week. They had another 60 points week 1 matchup. I feel like Oregon gets a easy dub versus a very weak Northwestern team. Second lot, Ohio State versus the University of Ohio. That game the spread is minus 33.5 at the time of this recording. I'm going to buy some points and take them at minus 29.5. That 33 kind of scares me, but I feel like Ohio State wins handedly. Now, this is where it gets kind of tricky. We have Georgia versus Tennessee. 3 o'clock game, Neyland Stadium, middle of Rocky Top country. Give me Tennessee plus 4.5.
Okay.
Georgia is 5-7 over the last 12 games when it comes to covering the spread, and the spread is less than 10 points. So 1-score games, Georgia has a very hard time covering the spread. Whereas Tennessee, they are 8-4 against the spread in 1-spread games, especially coming in as the underdog. I feel like that environment is going to be insane. I feel like Tennessee has a new outlook on life, getting rid of Nico. I'm not even about to try to butcher his last name, but we all know who I'm talking about. I love the way the offense is this spitting out points. I love that defense right now. I feel like this one's a lot close. It goes down to the wire, but give me Tennessee plus 4.5. And now, for the best bet of the night, trust me, LSU versus Florida. Night game, Death Valley. Give me the Tigers money line. It's not about how we do it. Just know when the clock hits 0-0, LSU will be on top. those are my 4 best picks for Saturday college football. So whatever you like to bet on, go ahead, throw those in, sit back, and enjoy the rewards of my research.
All right, sounds good. Hey, appreciate the research that you put in that.
Oh,
Phill.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for watching this episode of the Banganator Podcast. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on the Banganator Podcast Instagram and Banganator Pod _4 on the Twitter X. Again, Phill, it was a pleasure to have you on. I'm glad that I can have you on permanently now, so we can talk, riff, back and forth. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. No problem. Whenever y'all get a second, y'all can always check out my Instagram at Phill and Fit. I drop pics, workout videos, meal plans, whatever you need. If you want to make some money or get in shape, just holler at your boy.
All right. Play call. The Banganator Podcast, Season 4, Episode 2. Ready, break.
Welcome to the Banganator Podcast, brought to you by SC Banga, diehard fan of the Dallas Cowboys since 1997. How about them Cowboys?